So if you are a keyboard enthusiast as I am, one of the things that you find yourself doing frequently is having to remove key switches and keycaps. And today I'm going to do a quick review of the KEMOVE keycap and key switch puller and compare it with a few of the other ones that I have on my desktop here. And one of the things that you'll notice is this comes in a great little box, and it is made in China. I did purchase this from Amazon, and the price on this was $19.99, and decent packaging. Something that if you're looking for a stocking stuffer at Christmas time, this obviously is a perfect little size. So anyway, it is inside a little plastic bag here, and we have a couple of features with this. We have the wireframe keycap puller here, and the spacing between the wireframes here is really there to match up with most keycaps. So one of the things is that under using a normal keycap puller like this one here that came along with the keyboard, this is a nice integrated keycap puller and key switch puller as well, but you'll notice these here, we can squeeze them right together, right? And this is something that we could do here as well, but the objective is that it springs back to more of an open position as far as that goes. And because it is wireframe, it is stainless steel 304, and because we have this, it actually makes it easier to take the keycap out of the switches here. So depending on how you choose to hold your keycap puller, this actually works quite nicely, and we'll just use it on the keyboard that I have here. So I like to keep my finger on top of the keycap so it doesn't go flying all over the place, and when I'm ready to release it, I can just bump it back with my hand, and you can see it falls into my hand quite nicely. And they snap into the sides here. It's not too tight, right? Just kind of pops in there so that they're not flopping all over the place when you are using the switch puller. And the switch puller itself is also quite nice. And what makes this very handy is this, the alignment. If you look at this, the features are pretty much the same. It is a little bit wider. However, with this, you have to make sure that you're properly aligned over top of the key switch itself and find the little tangs that are there and squeeze to pull it out. And it doesn't require that much of a squeeze, and again, that will depend on the keyboard and the type of switch that you're using, but you have to make sure that you get it in the right spot. So if I do the same here with the keycap or the key switch puller here, just slip it over top, that's it, push the button on the top of the key switch puller, and it just pops off into your hand. And I will tell you that makes a big difference, because if you are working with these switches, the little tangs that we have on the side here, these little barbs, they snap into the mounting plate, and you don't want to damage those. So it's important to make sure that we're aligned properly, and this, as you can see, make sure that everything is aligned just so. And it will not damage your keyboard as much as any other switch puller will, but for the price, you really can't beat this. This is the black transparent, and it comes in several different colors. I like the transparent look because I like to see what's happening on the inside. It's just the mechanical side of me, I guess, and I like to see what's happening inside some of these devices just to see how they work. But outside of that, this is a great purchase, and if you're a keyboard enthusiast, I think you'll find this will be money well spent. And again, it was $19.99, and bottom line is that it ships via Amazon. Don't have to worry about it. It comes right to your door, right? That's very convenient. And one thing I will tell you is that I also have here the Gateron, and this is just a switch puller. Now this is an aluminum frame, but I can tell you also that this is considerably more expensive and does exactly the same thing. This is $54 Canadian again, And the bottom line is that it's a lot of money to be spending just to have a chunk of aluminum in your hand when this device seems to be doing exactly the same thing. So if you're just starting as a keyboard enthusiast and making your way into figuring out what keyboards are all about and looking for at least a little bit of a value deal here, which will definitely help you out in the long run, I would suggest to you that this particular keycap puller and key switch puller are really quite nice, right? KEMOVE. And the components that are in here, again, even though it's plastic and so on, I have no idea what's inside this Gateron other than it does have aluminum and it does have a slightly different design as to how things work, but this is just as effective. And one of the nice things is even on here, the edge on the inside, it's slightly tapered, so it makes sure that when it's coming down over top of your housing that it fits in quite nicely, and you can see that here, right? Fits in quite nicely around the housing, surrounds it practically perfectly, and it makes it very easy as well to make sure that you can even get close to the edges. And I'm just going to remove the 4 key here, and let's just see if that's true. All right, so here we are. I'm on it, and just push it up against the keyboard like that, and again push the red switch. You can see how it's grabbing onto the tangs, right? They're pushed in quite nicely, and all we got to do is hit the button on the end, and that's it. Pops off nice. So if you take off all of the keycaps, set them up, and then just go through this and pop them into your hand, it becomes a very easy and fast way to remove key switches from your keyboard. And if you're like me, I have a variety of key switches that I like to check every once in a while, and I will tell you that this device is something that will be very, very handy for you. So that's my review. Thanks for watching.
this little thing is great. So you can use it to pull your keys. It does really great. I mean, it does really amazing to do pretty much everything you need for your keyboard. And these are for pulling your caps.